Oh, my days. What an absolute calamity, lads and lasses. It's a complete sham at Manchester United at the moment. How's it going? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Match reaction to the shitter of a game, in my opinion. Peter Maples commenting here saying, good game. Do one. It wasn't a good game. It was a shocking game from Manchester United's perspective anyway. Southampton, fair play to the man. You know, they were 2-0 up before we knew it. Manchester United cannot start games. We're absolutely useless. Jose Mourinho's plan A is garbage and does not work. So what happens is United do not play football until we go behind, until we're in a desperate situation where we actually need to pull ourselves back into a game. We are incapable of starting games like that. We're useless. Jose's plan A is garbage. What he is a defensive style manager who tries to get Manchester United playing defensively, but we're conceding goals left, right and centre. What's that all about, Jose? It's terrible. You're a defensive manager, yet you're not even good at the one facet you're supposed to be good at, which is defending and defensive football. You set United up to concede. We're conceding goals. Our players, of course, our players are not freaking doing it, are they? Yeah, fair play to Lukaku scoring after a bloody ice age. Finally gets one in the back of the epoxy net. And then there's Herrera's popped in there and got one. Great, that's great. You know, we got back into the game pretty quickly. That was good to see, but we didn't go on and win the game, did we? And the very fact that we are behind at the start of the game 2-0 down before we know it, when we're Manchester United going to Southampton, is a complete travesty. It really is. You know, this Portuguese goblin, Mr. Bean lookalike wannabe impersonator we call a manager is acting like it, like Mr. Bean at the moment. Do you know what? He's not capable of getting this United side firing, playing like we should be, playing offensive football. You know, we're away from home against Southampton. It's a tough game. Southampton have scored 12 goals all bloody season. I think including the ones against us. You know, so it's not like they've been very good. I don't think they've won once at St. Mary's. That's how shit they are. You know, but they still almost got the better of Manchester United today, and certainly did at the start of the game there. We allowed them to just play some football against us. You know, we're away from, yeah, we've got a lot of possession. We didn't have as many chances as them, I don't think, you know. So they were always dangerous. They made it very difficult for us. I mean, fair play to them. You know, the free kick was sensational. They generally put up a really good performance against. I'll give some credit to Southampton and Mark Hughes, the silver-haired twat. You know, actually he's a United hero, of course, but you know, he's done us again, hasn't he? A couple of points dropped today for Manchester United. It's totally unacceptable, especially after the last result at Old Trafford. You know, we're dropping points all over the place. You know, we were supposedly a top 6 side, which makes me cringe. It's sickening that we're considered a top 6 side instead of a top side or a top 2 side or whatever you want to call it. Top 4 at the very least. We're a top 6 side now, but are we even a top 6 side? I don't think we're performing like a top 6 side. We're not in the top 6, so that is a good indicator. And the way that we're playing, the teams we're dropping points against, home and away, it's just not a very good team at the moment, is it? You know, hang your head in shame. Everybody at United, the owners, the board, Jose. I mean, everybody spent a lot of money at this club. Yeah, maybe not quite as much as a couple of the other sides in the league. Maybe Man City has spent more than us over the last few years since Jose's been in. But you've had a lot of money to spend. You've brought a couple of players in at least. You're supposed to be this great manager. But I'm sorry, he's lost it. I just don't think that he can turn it around now. The last result was unacceptable, came at a really bad time for us, took all the wind out of our sails, allowed the teams that are above us to get even further away from us, and we've just done exactly the same thing in another game that we should be winning against subpar opposition. You know, they're a good side, okay, they're a shit side really, but, you know, they certainly made Manchester United look like a poor side today. So, I'm gutted about it. I really am. The state of Manchester United at the moment, you can't hide it. You can't paper over the cracks. You can't gloss over it. United are a shithouse at the moment. We really are. And that's from the very top down. The players are not performing at all to the standard. I mean, come on, Pogba, mate. You're a freaking Logba out there. So just giving the ball away as much as an actual piece of wood would. Do you know what I mean? It's like he is incapable of keeping hold of the ball. He does so many stupid things. He gives the ball away. He gets tackled. He gets, you know, interceptions. He gives the ball away. There were some numerous occasions, even towards the end of that game, where he's just giving the ball away and then De Gea's having a mop up for him. And it's like, what are you doing, Paul Pogba, mate? So the players have got to man up. The players, of course, have to do it. I mean, he's that bad. He makes Fellaini look good. Technically, he makes Fellaini look good. So it's a bad, dire situation at Manchester United right now. It really is. Everybody who's tuning in right now, thanks for stopping by. Chuck a like on this video. Get your thoughts in the comment section. I'll go back through in a minute and see any people that have sent in anything. And I'll keep looking and see what you guys think about it. But my personal thoughts on the situation are, that's it for Jose now. He's getting sacked in the morning, or at least he bloody well should be. But I don't think the board will make the decision. Can you really see him turning it around now at United, getting us into the top 4 come the end of the season, getting us playing at least better football? I'm sorry, Jose. You know, I wanted it to work out for you because I admire you as a football manager. You've achieved a lot as a football manager. He's a great football manager. In history, the history books will say that Jose Mourinho was a fantastic football manager. But at United, apart from that first season of reasonable success, he's been a shithouse, hasn't he? He's not done it. And I just think he maybe is one of those people that's just slightly over the hill in football in terms, and it's time you just laid yourself to rest, mate. Do you know what I mean? It just gave up. Because all you're doing is hurting your own legacy at the moment. I don't think he will. He obviously loves it. But this challenge at United is not the right fit for him. He's not up to the challenge. Which way you want to look at it, he's not right for the club because the ethos, the ethics, everything about Manchester United, the philosophy, everything behind the club, the history, tradition, is about entertaining the fans. It is about being offensive and attacking and just playing nice football. When we haven't really seen that too much under Jose Mourinho, I think he's having an absolute double daymare. He really is. He's not lived up to it. He's not getting the best out of this team. The players look deflated out there. They're running around a lot. They're looking reasonably up for it, like they are putting in the effort. But I'm sorry, I don't see him getting the best out of this team. Selections, Matic, Frankenstein's all over the place at the back there. There's a lot of questions to be asked about some of the decisions that he makes, some of the selections that he makes, the tactics that we employ. It's like he is supposed to be this tactical mastermind genius. Last season we did defend very well. We weren't good offensively. He's a defensive style manager. Sort of came to accept that we can win games in a defensive manner. And yeah, it might not be the most enthralling or entertaining games of football, but we will actually get the result. And that was the important thing, or we'll at the very least defend very well. But I'm sorry, this season it's been a complete calamity. We've defended very, very poorly throughout the whole entire season, conceded loads of goals, especially against teams we shouldn't be conceding goals against and not getting the results. It's time, Jose. Pack your Portuguese Mr. Beanbags and leave, mate. You've had a good run, but I'm over it now. I'm over it. It's not just Jose. The players are complete calamities as well. The board, everybody at the club, not investing in the squad a little bit more in the last window. And just the fact that we've got these, American owners that came in and bought the club with debt money, and it's not really the best situation that we're in at the moment in Manchester United, is their own personal goal and drive exactly the same as us fans? No, it's not. So, but Mourinho is the man in charge. Mourinho is the man who's deploying these tactics out there, who's getting the players up for it, who's motivating them, who's telling them what to do. And what they're doing at the moment is a complete pile of gash. They're not doing anything. They're looking very poor going forward. We didn't create enough once again. Defensively, we're looking poor. And that was always a Jose Mourinho strength in a Jose side. The defensive stability is always apparent in a Jose Mourinho side. But not in this one. This one is a complete calamity. It really is. I'm just getting so pissed off about it, lads and lasses. I did say that I would actually not get my hair cut until Manchester United are in the top 4 in the league. And freaking look at me! Do you know what I mean? It's not in a good situation at the moment. So can we just start winning some bloody games? And I think the only way that we're going to do that is if we get a new manager in with a new mentality, a new philosophy, new coaching method, style, belief system, religion, whatever you want to say. Get a new person in who's complete opposite of Jose. Let's get somebody who's attacking. Let's get somebody who's offensive, who's progressive, I don't know, maybe something like an Eddie Howe or something, just go mental. It's crazy. He's doing a good job at Bournemouth, isn't he? But why can we not just go in that direction rather than this stagnant, defensive, unentertaining, it's not even getting results. It's just a poor way that the football club is being managed at the moment in all areas, but certainly the out there on the pitch, the way that it's showing itself is in the performances. The performances have not been good enough. Defensively, they're terrible. Attacking-wise, they're terrible. There's not really much good stuff to say about Manchester United at the moment, apart from maybe Anthony Martial's in form and he didn't really start the game. Do you know what I mean? So there's not very many positives at Manchester United at the moment. So yeah, everybody who's tuning in, thanks so much for getting involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm just going to go back here, make sure I've not missed any super chats here. But yeah, it's just a joke, isn't it? This is really a bad state of affairs that this club has been in, probably the worst since I've actually been alive. And considering we had the Moisey era, I'd say it's pretty worrying times ahead for United, because I don't see that Jose is going to turn us around and just get us winning every game and get that consistency back into it. We've just been far too inconsistent this season to even really expect to get anywhere above where we are right now, which is right down there in the doldrums. Gungshi in the house with an epic super chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, Gungshi. His comment says, Portuguese Mr. Bean strikes again. We did well to equalise. Well done, Marcus Rashford, for the assists, but did sod all the rest of the game. So depressing being a United fan these days. Yeah, you've summed it up well. I mean, thank you so much for getting involved there, by the way, Gungshi. But you're absolutely right. Marcus Rashford had a good performance today. There were players who put in good shifts today. Can't fault David De Gea as usual. But like you say, he didn't do that much in the game apart from the assist. But that's effective. You look at stats and stuff, it's effective. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that we are in this situation where we don't have players performing, we don't have a side that's entertaining us. We're not really looking forward to United games anymore. I'm not. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have quite that same excitement of an approaching United game, that I used to compared to now. It's just like I'm expecting it to be a bit dull. I'm expecting to be slightly disappointed. I'm expecting maybe the end goal to be disappointing, which is what happened today with the result and everything. But yeah, I mean, crikey, Gunchi, it is a proper bad situation the club's in. I think the only way we can really change it is to basically do sort of what Arsenal did. It stagnated. It didn't go well at the end there with Arsene Wenger, and they made the decision. And yeah, okay, it's not like they bang up their challenging for the title this season, but you can see that there's a new direction at the club, new leadership, new manager, of course, coming in, and it's had a positive effect on them. You can see maybe next season, maybe they'll be thinking about challenging or doing something like that if they can have a new window, because there's a whole new approach and it seems like everybody's on board. That is what United don't have at the moment. We've got this dull defensive style with this dull manager who's incapable of really seeing that Manchester United should be treated differently than some of the clubs that he's managed in the past, and that the fans expect a certain level of football and commitment out there, and we're just not getting that. So yeah, I mean, I think United are just depressing everyone at the moment, Coachy. But thank you so much for getting involved again, man. You're a legend for that, man. Really appreciate you stopping by and airing your views. Alex Rudd in the house as well says, remember when everyone gave Arsenal grief for top four? Get out of here, Alex. How dare you show your face around here after that 10-1 drubbing on FIFA? But anyway, no, yeah, I mean, Arsenal at the moment, already with the new manager coming in, are sort of better than us at the moment, which is absolutely insane. I mean, they don't have better players necessarily, but, their attack's as good as anyone, really. And new manager, new approaches having positive effects there. Manchester United could do with a bit of that, in my opinion. So Jose's got to go. But yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, you can give us some grief. You definitely can. Thank you so much for stopping by. James Arnold, I'll give you a battering at FIFA again soon. James Arnold, shambolic Edward would do the right thing and sack him. Yeah, I agree now, James. The time has come. He's had chance after chance after chance. I don't want Manchester United to be this managerial merry-go-round where everyone's being sacked every few months. But it's not been a few months. This is his third year in management at the club, or his third season in management at the club. And he's had a lot of money. He's had a lot of time. He's had a lot of, energy from everybody around him that's been put into him and achieving Manchester United's goal. But he's not able to do that, is he? He's over the hill. He's a Portuguese Mr. Bean lookalike contestant. That's what he should be doing now. Not managing a football club. He should be entering competitions. Nick Suberling in the house comes and says, Mourinho out, Woodward out, Glazers out. Everyone out. I totally agree with you, Nick. A lot of the players as well, some of them are complete bottlers, and I would take a reasonable offer for quite a few of those players, because I don't feel that they've got the passion, the desire, even the downright intelligence to be a Manchester United player. I'm looking at Paul Pogba giving away the ball at the end of the game there, when we're trying to get on the front foot multiple times and thinking, you are just thick, aren't you, Paul? Bit of a logba. So, yeah, I totally echo that. Gary Wells in the house. How's it going, Gary Wells? Oh, I've just pushed a comment up there. He says, we are worse now than under Moyes, and I never thought that was possible. I totally agree. Look at the way we were going about. I'm sure I was watching the game earlier, and there was a spell of about 5 minutes, or maybe not quite that long, 2 or 3 minutes, where Manchester United just had it in our own half, and we weren't even really sort of trying to progress it up the pitch. It didn't last long, but it was certainly longer than necessary. And it was like, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing? Do the players not know what they're doing? The goal's down there, lads! Pass it down there, put it in the back of the net. But Jose Mourinho's teams, of course, they are defensive. They do like to have the lion's share of possession, but possession doesn't win you prizes, does it? I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's very nice when it works off if you're a Manchester City type side and you've got these fantastic players and this fantastic manager and that system, possession football, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. You've got to create chances. You've got to create key chances. And we haven't done that enough times at all this season, and it is Jose Mourinho's system does not complement this United side. It doesn't play to the strengths of the players, and it doesn't play to the philosophy of the club, which is play entertaining football, attacking football, entertain. It doesn't play to that at all. So he was never really the right fit for the club. He was a very storied manager, very successful manager. He was available at the time after Louis, and it's like, we would have been foolish to not at least give it a go. And to be fair to him, first season he's won us a few things. It was a great transitional season. Last season we finished second against a great City side. Those 2 seasons are an acceptable result for a manager coming in. Great result. You've done well there, mate. Qualified us for the Champions League 2 years in a row. Improved our league position if you look at it like that. But even though the football wasn't that great. But this season we've nosedived off the cliff, man. We have completely given up. This United side don't look happy with the way that Jose wants them to play. They don't look comfortable out there. They don't even necessarily look like they know what they're doing, what their position is, what their roles are. And a lot of the time they play like they don't really know each other. And considering these players have been with each other for a long time and they're all multi-million pound players who are paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, that is just that's not acceptable. Jose has to take all the blame for that because it's his style, his system. The players just don't look up for it. I think some of the selections he makes, Matic doesn't deserve to be playing at the moment. Okay, maybe certain injury situation has warranted it today, but so many times this season, especially the last few games, like, come on, give somebody else a chance. Fred hasn't played much, give him a chance or something. But he just doesn't do that. He's very rigid in his own beliefs and what he's going to do. And if you look at Pogba has been very hit and miss this season. There's been spells where he's been consistently bad. I would have dropped him here and there. I think Jose's kept too much faith in Pogba and too much faith in Lukaku as well this season. Okay, he scored today, but how long have you gone without scoring? So long. It's not really like you're in great form. You just luckily got one against the shit side, Romelu. Basically, you don't deserve to be in the side, but he is in this side. Maybe what I'd have liked to have seen today would be Martial not on the bench and playing with maybe Rashford up top there instead of that big Frankenstein's monster Lukaku. But Lukaku poop was indeed on there, although he scored, so fair play to Romelu. But still, not seeing enough from him. To everybody who is tuning in right now, thanks for stopping by. Alex Rincon in the house, saying some expletives there with a super chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, Alex Rincon. You absolute legend. I also battered him at FIFA too, but not quite as bad as I battered Alex Rudd. Alex Rudd comments and says, draw Chester. Just don't, Alex. You're rubbing salt in the wounds at the moment. It doesn't feel good. We're not in a good mood. We're not in a good state as United fans at the moment. We're not looking forward to seeing United play because we know that there's a good chance we're going to be disappointed with Jose at the helm, with the players playing the way they are, with the tactics out there, the lack of just balls and just spirit. Go for it. Come on, Jose. You're going to come out with a whimper like that, are you? It seems like I don't even want to see another game from him now. That's it with me and Jose Mourinho. I would like it if we changed something at Manchester United right now. The direction needs to be changed. It's going downhill. We're not even going to be a top 6 side at this rate if we keep going the way we are. So the decision has to be made, and we've got to get behind somebody else because there's a good chance that with him, if we keep him at the helm, that we could go right now. We saw what happened in this last season at Chelsea there. Do you know what I mean? It was a calamity. Lost the players, etc. Nick comments, Wenger in, Eddie Howe wants nothing to do with Manchester United. Well, I mean, he's doing a tremendous job at Bournemouth at the moment. He's happy at Bournemouth, he's a local lad. And, surely he would want one day to go and manage one of the very best teams in the world. Except we're not that right now, are we? But with a new manager, a new approach, somebody who is progressive like that, who does get the best out of players, who does play progressive. I mean, I could wax lyrical about how good Eddie Howe is for a very long time, because his teams, feature players who were playing in the Championship. He's brought them up. Yeah, he's spent a little bit of money, but nothing like a team like Manchester United have spent with the core of players that we already had. And his core is Championship players, and he's got them playing better football than us. So you've got to respect that. Doesn't mean he could go and replicate that at a big club like Manchester United. It doesn't necessarily mean he could do that, but he probably could, because the way that he manages, the progressive style, maybe that would be a good option. Whether or not he would want to go, I'm sure he's very happy at Bournemouth there. It's like he's something amazing he's accomplished, taking his local club to the Premier League and keeping them, not only keeping them there, but getting them up there and playing good football doing it. So he would be a good option. I can see why he actually wouldn't want to come to United at the moment, because there's so much pressure. We've seen that with managers in the past. I was about to say David, but he's actually Scottish. David Moyes, the Ginger Goblin original himself. Of course, he was very successful at Everton, or maybe not didn't win stuff, but consistently had them up there, 5th, 6th every season, sort of bordering on the Champions League qualifications. He was very consistent for 11 years or something, consistent period of time. Nobody really doubted David Moyes' managerial ability while he was at Everton. But as soon as he went to Manchester United, a big club like it is, with the all the pressure that we've got, the expectation from the media, from the fans, when United lose, they get ripped apart on social media, get ripped apart in the press. So there's so much pressure and just bad vibes dealing with managing a club like Manchester United. Jose, you can see he's aged since he's been at the club. How many years older does he look since he's been at the club? I'm sure he used to look like a sort of young George Clooney. Now he's morphed into a 58-year-old Mr. Bean. It's not a good look for you, Jose. But no, in all seriousness, he's not aged that much. But I totally missed my point, what I was going to say. But I'm going to get back to your comments now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it before I go. Do us a favor while you're here, chuck a like on this video. Also, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all upcoming videos to do with football, Manchester United, that sort of stuff. And and also click the bell. Not people shouting out that bell down there. Click that bell, you'll be notified when we post something on this channel. Mr. Kadja comments, thanks so much for stopping by, Mr. Kadja. He comments and says, Fellaini does more than Pogba in one game that Pogba does in months. Coca-Cola Cherry Zero, the taste of a generation. Yeah, I agree with you. Pogba has not been up to the standard recently. Way too inconsistent, subpar, dawdling all over the place, giving the ball away, not effective, not playing like a £90 million player at all, is he? Not the Juventus player we thought we were getting, not the France player that he is. But in a Manchester United shirt, he shrivels up and he becomes Logba, who's just a terrible alter ego of his, who's terrible at football and doesn't care about United and can't keep hold of the ball. Fellaini, credit to Fellaini. I can see why Jose likes playing Fellaini. Fellaini, to me, he's not the most technically gifted of players. He's really not, He's not got great balance about him. He's not elegant. But he's effective, He tries hard. He goes for it. He plays with a bit of passion. And I like Fellaini. I do. I would keep him at the club. He's a useful player to have. He really is. Maybe not starting and stuff like that, but in certain games, of course, and impact substitute, he is useful. He is good. And I think since Jose's come in, he's actually been one of our better performers, not right up there, but one of the better performers at the club. I've got no issue with Marouane Fellaini. I think he's been decent, I really do. And even this season, last season he was great as well, but, this should not be the state of Manchester United, where Fellaini's like your best midfielder. It should not be that. We should have a lot more creativity in there. We should also have, guile and bottle and physique in that position as well. But I don't think Fellaini's that player, really. But I'm not dissing Fellaini. I think he's been really good for us, and he deserves a lot of credit. Now, I've done a lot of stick that people give him, myself included, saying he's a complete, newborn baby deer of a human being, and just can't really play football. I think he's done ever so well. You know, he's been one of United's most consistent performers, coming up with important goals. You know, impact substitute, gives you a different element. He is a very useful player to have. D-Train comments, Lukaku trash, Pogba trash, McTominay trash. This is so bad. McTominay's been trash last few games I've seen him play. Why, that's a bit out of left field, isn't it, Jose? Just pop in McTominay to have a shitter. Not good enough. Don't understand that. It's a disgrace. Connor the Red comments, Eddie Howe will be hired. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that right now. I think that would be a good direction to go, but like I think Nick Suberlin earlier commented and said, it is not really a guarantee that you want to take the challenge because there's so much pressure. Yeah, I'm sure the money would be better. Not sure if that's really what motivates it. It seems like a pretty down-to-earth, well-run man to me, but it would be almost foolish to pass up an opportunity like managing, history books, the biggest club in English football, wouldn't it? He could go in there, at least have a go at it. If it goes tits up, Bournemouth would probably take him. But what I think would happen at Bournemouth is they would probably have a really hard time of adjusting to life after Eddie Howe in the Premier League. So it's a very, like a poison chalice from all different elements, because he could go there, it could be a failure. He could also hurt the club that he's built into this Premier League regular team that he loves. So, it's a tricky one. I don't know if we will see that happen. Ben Carjamin comments and says, believe in Jose, he will turn it around. Oh, there's still people who are loving a bit of Jose. Fair play to you. I've got to love that persistence, my friend, and that optimism. But I disagree with you, man. He's had so much time now in the job. He spent a lot of money in the job. And it's not like he's just some fresh person who's come in and had a short time. This is his third season in charge at the club. And the very fact that we are conceding goals left, right and centre, even though we're playing this defensive football, at least setting out defensively, that's the problem with this side. We're set up negatively from the off. We don't have that ability to get in United mode from the off and start. Well, we've put pressure on ourselves because we don't go for it to begin with, which means we're likely to concede, or likelier to concede, or just the fact that we're not getting the goal ourselves, it heaps pressure on us, because as soon as we do concede, we then have to readjust. We then have to change our mentality. Whereas if we just went out there and scored straight away in the first few minutes, the pressure is slightly relieved, isn't it? You've got yourselves a goal. You're in the lead. It doesn't mean you're going to take the foot off the pedal. Quite the contrary. Get yourself in a winning position, even more so, and stay there. But, yeah, we're just shit, aren't we? D-Train says, get a caretaker in and wait for Poch. Don't think that's going to happen either, to be fair. Ivor Anthony comments in the house, is this a City fan commenting? What are you doing in here, mate? Do one! No, thanks for stopping by, mate. Everybody is welcome, but at least you haven't insulted me or rubbed it in too much there. But you said Bournemouth, best side I've seen at City this season. Yeah, they equalised just before half-time against City. Looked very good, made it very difficult for City. City's extra class in the end shone through, and they got the 3-1 win, didn't they? But yeah, they're just a good outfit. His teams play good football. There's good football inside Bournemouth, and that's all because of Eddie Howe, all because of his philosophy. He's had time in the job to work his wonders. He's done that. He's got a core set of players that he's known a long time that he has faith in and who have faith in him. And it's a very good recipe over there at Bournemouth. That's why they're being successful, even though they're the smallest club in the Premier League. If you're looking at facilities, you're looking at history, they're the smallest club in the Premier League. Yet they're not playing like it. United are the biggest club in the Premier League, yet we're playing like some mid-table gashery. It's absolutely awful. Charlie Morris Derby says, miss old United. Yeah, I totally agree. The old United was just spoiled us all over the place. And by the old United, I guess you mean the Sir Alex days, where we were so positive, so entertaining. You couldn't wait to watch a Manchester United game. You look forward to it all week. Whereas now, what are we looking forward to? Watch Jose Mourinho's recipe for gash out there on the pitch every single week. It's a disgrace, it really is. Newer Band Deals comments and says Fellaini is crap. He is a bit of a gash player, isn't he, technically? But give him his credit. He's useful. He's effective. He's actually been good for United this season, last season even. No, I would have jumped on that ship at 18 months ago and said he's absolutely terrible. But he's been useful. I like his determination at the very least, and he does have an effect. Much more than some of these shitter players like Paul Pogba, in my opinion. Right, lads and lasses, thanks so much for stopping by on this one. I've just realised we've hit half an hour, so I'm just going to go and chill now. I'm sick and tired of this shit anyway at Manchester United. It's a disgrace. The club underperforming. The manager's a joke. Get on your merry way now, Jose. You've had plenty of time to work your wonders. It's turned out you can't do that. It's turned out you're a dinosaur. You're an old relic of a football manager. You belong in a bygone era, pal. So do one, okay? Because I've had enough of your horrible, stinking tactics smelling up the place at Old Trafford. On the road today, it was a shambles how we were 2-0 down against Southampton, in such quick time. I just think he's had a mare. I think he's not going to turn it around. He's not going to improve it. We need somebody else with a completely fresh approach to come in. He's not the man for Manchester United. So see you later on, Mr. Bean. We'll catch you very soon indeed. And of course, the players need a man. You can take Pogba with you as far as I'm concerned. I just don't think he's good enough. I don't like the way that he plays. He's frustrating. He's too much of a frustrating, dawdling player, and it sickens me, man. Because we should have he should be a lot better. We've seen how good he is. Is it just the fact that the system and the manager is having this much of a negative effect on Pogba? Is that what it is? Surely not, because at the end of the day, it's not the manager out there with a little earpiece in saying, hey, give the ball away, Paul. It's not doing that. Paul's giving the ball away on his own. He's an experienced professional footballer, supposed to be top level. And he's giving the ball away numerous times, making silly mistakes, poor errors, poor judgments. There's certain players at the club that don't deserve to be wearing the jersey, and he's a £90 million one. Mental, isn't it? It'd be interesting to see what happened if we did get a new manager in, what Paul Pogba would do at United. Would he just go on to be this new Scholesy or get, whatever, some epic player at United who's just consistently good? Or would he just continue to be a shithouse? I personally think the latter, but it'd be interesting to see. I think he's going to get that opportunity if we do make the decision to get rid of Jose, which I don't think the board will actually do, even after this shit. Oh, I'm getting even more worked up now, lads and lads. So I'm going to go and chill now because it is just stressful. It's really stressful. I don't want to think about it right now. I've had enough. I've had enough of this shit, tuning in week out, watching this poor display of football out there. Not getting the results, not getting the performances. This is a shell of the Manchester United side. It really is, and it pains me to say that because we're this great club. We're the greatest club in the world, in my opinion. If you're talking about tradition and history, some of the stuff this club has overcome in the past, then we are the greatest club in the world, in my opinion. Okay, bit biased or whatever, but we've come back from adversity. Munich air disaster, 58, winning the European Cup 10 years on. Matt Busby Babes, all that stuff. What a rich history we've had. Sir Alex Ferguson. Unbelievable, best manager I've ever seen. This is a tremendous club, and just let me leave you with this, actually, before I go. This club may be in a state of turmoil at the moment. It may be in a real period of hurt. We're not doing well. The fans are not happy. The performances are terrible. The players don't look happy. The manager's a shithouse. The board's a shithouse. It's just a terrible situation at the club. But this club has come back from much worse ordeals than this one that we're currently in. Much worse situations than this one that we're currently in. It was only a few years ago we were consistently winning the Premier League. We will be back. This is Manchester United. So just have a bit of faith in the side. I just think we need to get a new approach. New manager would do that, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure a new manager would give us a new approach. So let's do that. I'll see you very soon. Please do me a favor before you go. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. You can follow me on social media, and please do at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll be back Monday for a Monday analysis episode. We're going to get that back underway every single week now. Apologies for it not being available last couple of weeks, but this Monday we'll be doing a Monday analysis to further break down this calamity that is United, and talk about football in general, the weekend results, all that sort of stuff. And if Jose Mourinho is even still manager by then, which I don't think he should be. I'll see you very, very soon. Thanks so much for everyone who's tuned in as per usual. The usual legends. Thanks so much for getting involved with your super chats and all your comments. If I've not read out your comment, obviously there's a lot coming through here. Get your comments in a minute. Come back, get them in down below. I will respond to them because I'm absolutely pissed off about this. So come back in a few minutes, get your thoughts and opinions in for everybody to see. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Take it easy, have yourselves a good one, and sack Jose Mourinho.